Yeah.
Is this your?
Oh,
Oh
neat.
man, this meeting's being recorded by the host. Got it. Cool. I consent.
Oh, did you have to consent?
Yeah, I mean, a little window popped up and it was like, the host is going to record this meeting. And I just said, cool, let's do it.
Oh, nice. Never heard of that.
uh, have you done a video podcast before? Or is this your first one?
I've done a couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're on
over Zoom.
YouTube. Hmm.
Oh, nice. I gotta
Yeah,
check those out.
yeah. It's just window to window, and yeah, they're kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this. I feel like I'm in your apartment right now, but I'm not.
I feel like I'm in your apartment that I haven't been in yet, so it's nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is the studio.
Sweet.
There's a lot more behind the camera than there is behind me.
Mm,
There's a little couch right there. Built out
nice.
to a bed, so if anyone gets like really drunk or something, they can just stay the night, or anyone can really stay over for whatever reasons. Got a keyboard right here, and then to my right is the Moog, which you can't see, but it's right
Uh-huh.
here. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
grandma's sleeping right now, so
Grandma, grandma
yeah,
Moog.
yeah,
Mogi.
Mogi, but yeah, I have a. I mean, that's the door to like the hallway. That's a
Mm.
closet right there. Yeah,
Are
I
those
mean,
all
you gotta.
soundboards on your walls? Or are
Oh
those
yeah,
monitors on the side?
yeah. Those are. That is my one of my acoustic panels. I have two more here, two more right here behind my speakers.
Hmm.
Another one in the corner, and then I have like acoustic curtains because like this room is weird. There's a window behind my monitor here, and then there's another window right here, and I can't put foam, so I used curtains to cover them up.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the shitty thing is the placement of like where I put my foam up. There's like certain dead spots I need to fill still.
Uh-huh.
But it's just it's a weird room. Like I couldn't do a proper like acoustic foam setup that I wanted to do, so I just kind of had to work with what I have. But it's when you as soon as you come in here, you can hear how quiet it is, like how much sound gets absorbed by these panels. It's fucking crazy.
It's amazing how effective those things are. I need to get some because I'm starting to really notice it.
Really?
Just like the echo in here. Like I can't take a regular phone call. I gotta like have it up to my ear and like, if I really want to avoid any kind of echo, otherwise it just sounds like
Yeah.
whoever I'm talking to, they say, "Oh, I just hear my own voice." I'm like, "Oh, great. I can't fix that currently." So I need to get some acoustic, what do you call it? Acoustic panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a couple of those in
I
lieu of
could
photos and posters.
yeah, anything that like diffuses sound. I would say for like especially your place, panels work. I could link you to where I got mine.
Mm,
They're really fucking expensive and they took like 4 months to get here, but they're so worth it.
damn, really? I was thinking
Yeah.
of those like those egg crate looking foam boards.
Oh yeah, those work too. Like those are
Yeah.
diffusers are good. You could probably get like, and these are much. I regret not doing this. I should have gotten acoustic curtains versus like
Mm,
I have like three, but I wish I just set up curtain rods all across the walls here, and I wanted to do curtains everywhere.
that'd be cool.
It's a cheaper and easier solution, especially like when you're rearranging or moving or something. I had to do like measurements to get the panels all lined up correctly. It was a pain in the ass.
Hmm.
But
I
now I'm like,
bet.
fuck, I should have
Those
gotten
are like
curtains.
precisely placed, right? Or
Yeah.
close enough.
Yeah, they're placed in a very specific way. Like the curtain right here is placed where the panel is right here. So like
Hmm.
you want that. You want to kind of have like opposite sides covering each other. You don't want to have like a panel here and then a panel like randomly here because then and it's just gonna sound weird. But I used there's on the website for these panels, there's like a calculator and you can actually draft like a floor plan. And
Cool. That's what I
yeah,
need. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you can like add windows and like furniture. You basically just kind of like simulate your room, and then it'll recommend like what you should get. It'll say, oh, you need like 8 panels, and place them here, 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 based off your setup.
Hmm.
Pretty cool.
Nice. I'm probably gonna need more.
Mm.
I hope not, because I have the high ceilings and everything.
Yeah, look into those
Um,
curtains if you can, man. They're I
oh, I'm
think
so down. Yeah.
they're so much easier to utilize versus these panels. Like they're great, but I just if we ever move from this place, I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to think about setting these up again because it took me like a day to get it right.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's how curtains would be, right? Like I have one window, so I don't have much use for curtains. I've got that, and then I would have to put them everywhere else. I guess I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you could just move them, right? So
Yeah. Just move
yeah.
them up. And I mean, the curtain rods I used, I have like those adhesive hooks, so they're
Mhm.
easily like removable instead of like
Yeah.
drilling holes. And like curtain rods, sometimes you have to drill holes in your walls, but with these, you just hook them up and then just like pop them off and then just use a new adhesive every time you take them off.
Nice. Okay, I can do that. I
Yeah.
think I
Yeah.
will, because I hear the echo
Nice.
now. Now that I'm like thinking about it more, I can hear the echo, and it's a lot. So
I hear a little bit of reverb, but I kind of like that. Like I've noticed the last two episodes we did there, it wasn't too bad. Like there's a reverb, it's like type of effect in there, but it's not like super super annoying or anything.
right, it's just kind of present. You can tell though. Yeah, it's always there.
It's the character of your space, and
Yeah,
it doesn't bother
I'll,
me. I
I'll
don't
go
mind
with
it.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I have
yeah,
couches. Well, I moved the couches across from each other now, so it's like more of a, I don't know, I guess like a welcome space just for guests, and then also to podcast too. So I've got, um, well, my place is a mess. I'll show you in a sec, but I'll just show you whatever. I
tight.
had a podcast last night, and I just haven't cleaned up, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, so we could sit across from each other, and then get the mics on either end there, and yeah,
Oh,
I
dude,
think
that's so
that
rad.
it could be a little more comfortable. I was worried though. I was like leaning back too comfortably. I kind of like the idea of sitting at a desk, It feels
Yeah,
good. It feels more like, I don't know, that I'm paying attention or something.
yeah,
But
I get
yeah.
that. But I like the casual. It looks a lot more relaxing. That like you could just sit back and have a beer and just just shoot the shit. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. So human offline joins online.
Whoa, are we in the metaverse?
I tried to escape it.
Mm, we can't. It's gonna be. It's funny because like my wife Victoria, she gets fucking annoyed when I bring it up because I'm like I got an Oculus Quest, and she gets really annoyed when I mention anything about it because I'm a big fucking nerd, and anything that gets us close to like a Matrix like simulation where you can have like an avatar of yourself to do whatever you want in this open world. I love that. It sounds bizarre, but I'm very fascinated by it.
Mhm.
I'm not I'm not stoked about the fact that like Mark Zuckerberg is like spearheading the metaverse so far. But I'm
Yeah.
happy that like he got the attention of a bunch of other like tech giants, and everyone else is gonna pretty much catch up to him and what they're doing. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm stoked for it. I'm intrigued. What about you? How do you feel about it?
I'm terrified, but I'm also down because I just think that's cool. I loved Ready Player One and the Matrix, and I mean the Matrix was the bad part of that, the like worst case scenario. But
Yeah.
I don't know, and so was Ready Player One in many ways. But I don't know, just the idea of making the world smaller. Why not? And then I feel like it would make traveling to, I don't know, other planets or the moon or whatever more comfortable, because then all we need to do is have an internet connection, or like direct links to the moon or Mars or something like that, and we can all just be in the same space all the time. It's a holodeck. Essentially, we're building a holodeck, and I think that's great. I think it's really cool. It's gonna be weird because it's gonna people everybody's gonna dissociate from reality, or so many people will. But
Hmm.
I don't know. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I view it as the way we viewed the uprising of social media, like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter from like
Mhm.
like 2005. I mean, I would say like more like 2008 to like 2011 when all those apps and I mean, yeah, those apps and I guess programs started coming out of like making a digital version of yourself, but like in a two-dimensional format,
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like we're already doing it. We're already creating second lives. We're pretending to be people that we're not, and we could be whoever we want. I could go on Facebook tonight and create a complete different like alter ego of myself, like I could go on, I don't know, Google and find 5 pictures of the same dude who's a model and be like, my new name is like Brock, tough man, and I could say
Sanchez.
Brock Sanchez, and I could say I'm a model from like Switzerland and that I'm single. What I'm saying is like you could just fucking go online and pretend to be someone you're not, or you could create a whole new identity. It's that easy.
Yeah.
And like now the metaverse is just going to be that, but like in a 3-dimensional format. But I think I think it'll be cool at first. It's just going to be like everything. Like when it first comes out, it's going to be cool, confusing, and then people are going to all join it. And then 10 years later, it's going to be, something Congress questions and how it's unregulated and like how Mark Zuckerberg was brought forth to Congress to like testify about, everything Facebook was doing. And it's just gonna be another cycle of that shit. And it's gonna be out of control. And then it's gonna be cool, and then it's gonna be fucking lame, and then we're gonna move on to the next big thing. That's just how like things are with tech every 10 years.
Right. I mean, it's going to be an obstruction to like progress. People are going to see it as that. It's going to be just like this weird hindrance to us, to the human race. But overall, it's going to be a good thing. I'm waiting for. I mean, I'm not looking forward to like as soon as billboards start popping up in our second reality, where hopefully we can escape from all the bullshit that we have to deal with here in the waking world, and then go there and see more ads and see more bullshit. I don't know. I'm worried about that too, because they're going to fully take advantage of, oh, well, if you can see an ad in real life, why not in the metaverse, when you're trying to be away from all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's going to be cool until we start seeing ads for like male erectile dysfunction pills everywhere, or or it's like how our phones listen to us, and I'll be talking about like, I don't know, a sweater or a book I really want to buy, and then I'm going to start seeing ads in my Gmail account for books and sweaters. It's going to be like that in the metaverse. It's like it's going to target your ass in there.
And not only that, but it's going to coordinate. Man, people are racing up and down Gary right now.
Vin Diesel, man, calm down.
Yeah, man, it's like I've seen the cars. They're busted ass cars.
It's always like a little truck.
Yeah, it's always like a little truck or a Honda, or and it's like, who's this for?
Pressing nobody.
I guess just themselves. And, live your best life, I guess.
Yeah, YOLO.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, I know. No one exactly. So like YOLO's like the metaverse. Like it's gonna be cool. Everyone's gonna say it, live by it, and then it's just gonna kind of fizzle away, and we're gonna move on to the next cool thing. But
I wonder if it's gonna make rent cheaper.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
Like we won't need big rooms anymore. Like people who are really into it, people are really down. Yeah, just need a box, essentially. Like all these tiny homes or tiny apartments that you see in New York on the news all the time, like just like a 12 square foot building, like room. Like that's all you're gonna need. You need that and like the best internet connection, and that's all you spend your money on. Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case for a bunch of people who just want to get locked into this thing.
Yeah,
at least the rent is cheaper.
Yeah, it's like the real estate in the metaverse. It's people are already buying property in there for like millions of dollars, and I don't understand that. And yeah, I don't know. It's like what kind of I don't know. I imagine it more as a thing you go into like Ready Player One, where you're an avatar. You create your own avatar, and you kind of like customize yourself, and whatever game you're playing. If you have like weapons like guns and swords and laser guns or whatever. And I think that part of it will be cool, like going into a 3-dimensional space to like play games with your friends and go on like quests and adventures and campaign mode and stuff like that. But then you're gonna have like the dark web of the metaverse, like go into like a building that just like you could do anything you want in there, like horrible shit. Yeah, you're gonna see dudes like dudes wearing trench coats with like really thick mustaches and like bald head walking into like this one building. Like, I know, stay the fuck away from there. I know where they're going. Yeah, you're gonna have shit like that. But
But it's
I don't know, man.
harmless, right?
What's that?
But it's harmless, right? It's like it's all just a simulation. Hopefully, it doesn't encourage them to be creepier. But
I mean, yeah, it's like if it's unregulated and like a lawless place like the Wild West, I guess you could go in there and do whatever you want. But I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I'm also terrified because we just don't know what it's gonna be, what it's gonna evolve into.
mhm.
Um, it's gonna hopefully there's not like what's that right wing app like Getter or something where everyone's going on into like
Oh
spewing
yeah.
conspiracies. You're gonna
Well,
have
it's
like
all
a
just like unregulated Twitter, right?
yeah, yeah, like stuff like that. You're gonna have like a box you can crawl into, and you just like write your manifesto in there or something. I don't. I'm like that's gonna be the scary part about it. But hopefully, it's used for good and entertainment, and a place where you can go and like be happy and do fun shit with your friends. That's kind of how I want to interact with it.
I'm looking forward to that. I want to look more into the buying of property and all that because I'd be down to do that. I can't buy property in the real world, so why not do it digitally? But how does it work? Like, how is it even valuable, or how would it even retain its value? Because you could just build more for cheap, right? All you need is a computer, just code more land.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
I
that
don't know.
just devalues it. I don't understand. I gotta look into it. I don't know anything about
Yeah, I don't know. That's a cool question. Like it'd be kind of cool to
it.
like how in the early MySpace days how you could code your own page,
Mm,
customize it, and maybe there'll be like building blocks to like teach you how to code to build your own shit in the metaverse versus like spending, Dogecoin to buy a car.
mm.
Yeah, you know.
Because Elon still won't let you buy a Tesla with a Doge.
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows, man? Who knows what it's gonna be? I don't think it's gonna be a thing until I don't know 3 to 5 years from now. But it's like
Yeah,
people are getting ready to dive in and do cool stuff in there and bad stuff. So we'll see how that
yeah.
goes. Yeah,
There was that discussion about like holodecks in Star Trek about how you can do anything you want and like tactily you can actually touch people and you can just recreate a room as is and it will feel like you're there essentially with people and everything, interactive AIs and all this. And they were
yeah,
saying that this could be good for like treating psychopaths and like serial killers and pedophiles and stuff, like just give them simulations so they don't take it out on real people. But then they're like, well, this kind of encourages that behavior and they might go out and do the real thing, like they can't get the fix anymore in their room.
oh God.
Yeah, so like we're already having that discussion,
Yeah, no,
this was a
we should be.
theoretical, this was just a thought before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that should be regulated is, sickos going in to fantasize their, their real life desires, but they're going into like the metaverse to do whatever horrible shit they're gonna do. And then, that's gonna turn into a conversation of like, should this be controlled? Should it be illegal to do that in there? Are there gonna be
Mhm.
laws that you get in trouble for doing shit like that? And I really think there should be, because it's like there what's that line from Kick Ass where uh it's like half an maybe like 20 minutes into the movie where the main character he's like walking home from school and he sees the two thugs breaking into a car and they're like, hey, get the fuck out of here, and he runs away. And he's
Mhm.
like just like a serial killer fantasizing just doesn't do it anymore. And he takes off his clothes and he has the kick-ass outfit and he has his weapon out. It's like that. It's like you can
Then they kicked the shit out of him, didn't
well, yeah, he gets stabbed in the stomach and then he gets hit by a car.
they?
So yeah, like hopefully there's like consequences for trying to bring your disgusting fantasies to life. But I don't know.
Ideally.
We'll see. If it's like the internet though, then maybe it won't be as regulated as we think it will be. Who knows?
Right. There's gonna be like metaverse 4chan and like
Oh God. Meta-chan.
Metachan. Yeah, it's gonna get real weird.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, I just hope there should be like planets, or like this is the Meta-chan planet, and you have to be a
Yeah.
disgusting human being to like be a citizen on that planet. And then here's the cool planet where everyone's doing fun shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And you
know?
need to like pay to like fly to that planet or something, right? And
Oh
like
yeah, it's gonna
there's like a
be
barrier of entry
yeah.
that I don't know, you just need to get through it somehow. And if you're a real dedicated creep, then you can get onto a metaverse ship to fly to this planet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like Like, oh God, I can't even think about that. But yeah, man, it's crazy how fast technology's moving these days. I know today, like the other, well, not all, but Verizon and AT&T just unleashed their 5G networks all over the country. So and that's going to unlock more opportunities for a lot of stuff to progress, and it's what
Mhm.
a lot of tech companies have been waiting for, especially music too, with like music technology. It's going to revolutionize like remote concerts, and artists can do a lot more like technically advanced concerts and music videos. Like
That's gonna be
this is
really cool.
one. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked for it. This is one artist I saw who it's like you're in front of a green screen and she has like those like motion cameras surrounding her,
Mhm.
and it's gonna, it's like stuff like that is like, now that we have this new technology that can have like, more bandwidth and more speed and less latency to pull off this type of stuff, it's gonna just unlock a whole new creative arsenal for artists, and not just musicians, but filmmakers, like painters and writers, whatever. Any kind of visual media is going to be fully enhanced by 5G now, so I think that's pretty cool.
It's gonna be really interesting. And it's just gonna power the metaverse, right? That's just gonna go that much faster. And I was talking to
Yeah.
some guy about he does like he works in solar panels and stuff like for this company. They install them and build them and all this. And he was at my work and I overheard him talking about 5G towers and I'm like, oh, what's up with that? Is that a real concern? Like, do we need to worry about that? And he's like, no, it's all just conspiracy shit. But you can't get close to those things; they'll cook you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they just put out so much energy, you can't get close to them. Like, you need to turn them off and to work on them to get anywhere near them. Like, oh, that's crazy. So that's real, right? But that's like a radar. A radar does that too, and like you can't get close to a radio tower and things like that. And so, like,
Yeah.
okay, that's not so much of a concern. It was freaking me out there for a second, though.
Yeah, I know those cell towers. They output a lot of a lot of wattage.
Hmm.
And they're radiating heavily. I don't know how dangerous they are as you get closer to them. I know that like everyone at first, a lot of people were concerned that 5G was going to be like going to create the apocalypse, or that it was causing COVID or whatever bullshit conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Um, But I mean, you have a phone in your pocket every day and that's radiating, but it's such low energy that it's not going to affect your health, or it's not going to kill you or give you cancer or anything.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's like, I don't know the safety of those towers, how close you can get to them. I know they're like fenced off from the public.
Hmm.
But like if you're like a technician and you have to climb up there to like fix an antenna, it's like shit. Well, how do you address that? I really don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
I don't know, more
I don't
doom and
know.
gloom.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for technology to keep evolving. We're
I really am
if
too.
if, if we were living in times 100 years ago, we wouldn't have this luxury. We're very fortunate to have this, and
Oh yeah, we'd be hungry all the time and
yeah,
wondering what's going to happen next and
yeah, and
can't
lonely.
do
And
anything. Lone, yeah,
yeah, you go.
sickly, getting catching weird diseases all the time. Just 100 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
100 years ago, was that no Spanish flu was 1918.
Hmm.
So,
So just about.
oh yeah, yeah.
But then the stock market crashed in 29, and then
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the Great Depression, all those things, man. It's fuck. I mean, we kind of had that in 2008, the recession.
Hmm.
The was it the housing crisis, that the was it not the stock market, like the housing market crashed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, fortunately enough, we were living in a time where we had computers and technology and phones to all stay in touch and stay connected and figure our shit out. But yeah, man, it's just it's an exciting time to be alive.
It really is.
It
It really
really
is. I just
is.
think the internet's the coolest thing ever. I want to live off
Yeah.
the grid and like in the woods somewhere, but I still want to have like a Starlink or something just to stay
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Dead Mouse does now. He lives in like the woods in Canada. He's like isolated from the city and from people, and he just has like this giant house out there, but he has his own like fiber network in his backyard. He has his own cell tower.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he has a private network and it's
God,
all
his own.
his. Yeah, yeah, and it's he has his own bandwidth and his own speed. I mean, he has everything
Wow.
he needs out there, and it's like, fuck, I wish I could live like that, but it's, dude's a millionaire, so he can do it.
How cool would it be though to just have like a little community and then everybody chips in for a tower, or a satellite or whatever's practical at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But then you'd have like that one asshole who's always on his phone eating up all the bandwidth, and you're like, fuck, man, I'm trying to stream. Don't look up. Can you just hop off of Instagram for a second? Fuck.
No, man, I'm checking my stories.
Yeah, I'm making a reel for my 20 followers.
Imagine you get a tower and it only serves like 2 people at a time. It'd
Oh
be so
God.
frustrating.
You gotta wait your turn. I mean, there should be like time limits on that kind of stuff, like a laundry machine, just like 45 minutes, and the next bastard behind you, it's his turn.
This guy's taking too long. He's got 2 loads.
Oh, yeah, you know what's funny? This is like another nerdy topic about like washers and dryers. We just got new washers and dryers in our laundry room, and it's Bluetooth, and it doesn't take any kind of credit card or quarters or anything. It's an app on your phone that you reload with money, and then you just like when you put your clothes in, you select your settings, and then you have to load your wallet, like it's like a digital wallet like Apple Pay or something, and you just load it with like $10, and then you select your settings, and then you like slide to pay, and then it starts the machine, and it's like a
Oh,
timer. Yeah,
that's interesting.
it counts down like how long until you're done, and it's like a green timer, and then if you're past that, it turns red and it tells you, hey man, you're an asshole because you're 5 minutes past your load time. And so I'm like, this is fucking crazy that we have this. I've never used a machine like that before.
Wow. I used a reloadable card once, but definitely not an app. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Reminds
weird.
everything. Because
Yeah, and I'm
everybody's
like,
taking Apple Pay now, so why not?
yeah, dude, I love like digital payments and not using your card and touching that filthy pin pad, especially in a pandemic. It's nice to like do everything like hands free.
Yeah. I like the convenience of it, but there's always the drawback of like, the faucets, like public faucets that only turn on when you pull your hand away. Like there's
Yeah.
always just that disconnect.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
they don't work. Like you get close to it and it just doesn't go off, and you pull your hand away and it goes off.
Yeah, and then it shoots
Annoying.
soap everywhere, and it's like, oh no, that
Yep.
was supposed to go to my hand.
It's scorching hot water.
Yeah.
On your goddamn hands.
I need my amoebas though. I need to like touch the buttons. I need to touch everything.
Yeah.
I always said like after COVID, I was going to go out and lick an escalator just to get my immune system back because I didn't touch anything and I kept wearing a mask. I haven't gotten sick in 2 years.
You haven't caught COVID yet, have you?
I did in August. And
Oh, no way.
and I lost my senses and that was it. I was more mad that I lost 2 weeks of work. I couldn't go.
Yeah.
We're ultra compliant and rightfully so, but I wasn't sick. So like I just lost my senses and I could live with that for a couple of days. And it lasted 3 days. Like I got super lucky.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, we had a COVID outbreak at my work a few weeks ago. Like 3 people got COVID and they were out for 2 weeks. They couldn't come back unless they tested negative, and had like no symptoms. And it's terrible because yeah, like people lose money, and if like they don't have, like time off hours accrued, they can't really do anything. And the government stopped doing in September, they stopped doing or at least the state of California, the like the COVID pay program thingy where
Yeah.
they cover you, and it stopped, and they're not doing it now. And yeah, it's shitty, man. It's shitty to be in that situation. But I'm glad you're okay and that you're you're alive and you're healthy. Yeah, dude, it sucks. Like it having that COVID scare made me just kind of go into hermit mode. My wife and I were just like, we're canceling all plans for the next few months, and we're not doing anything. It's just literally work, home, sometimes grocery store if like we don't order takeout. And yeah, it's just we're almost in 2 years of this. Wow. Pats on the back, society.
We
did it.
it,
2 years in, baby. But yeah. Other than that, staying inside and working on some music.
Mhm.
Yeah, I put out that EP last week, a week ago today,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Imposter syndrome. It was a little early, right? Is that what you said in the post?
Yeah.
What was that deal?
Yeah, what happened was, well, I initially had it for release on December 15th, and I submitted it like a month early. And you want to do that because like sometimes if you submit your song or your EP or album or whatever you're doing really close to your release date, that doesn't really give you any room for error.
Mhm.
So like the distributor is the one I used. It's called CD Baby. They are very strict on the requirements of everything you upload. So like the artwork, the metadata, the track titles, the credits, and the publishing, all that stuff has to be correct because it gets inspected by their team. And if there's one thing that's off, it can delay your release.
Yeah.
So I'm really really diligent when it comes to that. And the one thing I overlooked was some of the artwork requirements because I've never had a problem when I've ever uploaded something.
Mhm.
So what happened was I commissioned a friend of mine, shout out Justin Conrad, you talented bastard.
I know Justin Conrad.
You know Justin?
Yeah.
Do you know him personally?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
I have a
It's
picture
crazy.
somewhere, like we're not super close, but I've known him for years. We have a picture. I took a picture with him and another Justin. We just had like three Justins in the same room, so we had to take a picture. I
Awesome.
gotta find it.
Yeah, dude,
But shout out to
he's fucking
Justin.
amazing. Yeah, shout out to Justin, man. He's an amazing poet and writer and just such a nice dude. And I reached out to him and I wanted him to do the EP artwork.
Mhm.
Um, and so we kind of floated some ideas around, and he came back to me with a poem. And do you follow him on Instagram?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you see what he does with his
Yeah.
poems and how he puts up his his poem in front of like a backdrop of some kind. And I'm like, I love that stuff. And so I asked him if he wanted to create some, an original piece of artwork for the EP. And
Mhm.
so he's like, yeah, I'm down. And so he came up with like a few different ideas, and then he made a poem. And I actually posted it when I was talking about the EP, but he did a thing where like he put it up against a light, and the light was reflecting onto the piece of paper on the poem, and it was highlighting the word oh shit, I forget what the word was. um I think disguise. I think it was the word disguise, but it was
Mhm.
the way he had the poem and the lighting, everything was like he couldn't have, nailed it better. And I'm like, that's it, that's the one. That's
Mhm.
that we're gonna go with that. So everything was set to go. I uploaded it, and then like a week later, CD Baby emails me, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we can't use this artwork because it doesn't match your metadata. You need to either remove it and use something new, or modify it." So I'm like, "What the fuck?" So,
Ugh.
um, yeah, I'm like, I'm not removing it. Like this is it. This is the artwork. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna fight this. So I went back and forth with their support team, and I'm like, well, what if I just added my like artist name to it and the EP title? Like, can I still use it? And they were saying, gave me this long explanation that basically it can be confusing to all the streaming services. And if nothing matches if the artwork doesn't match your metadata, it can cause confusion. So they recommended I just remove the entire thing.
Ugh.
And and
What a
so, and this
nightmare.
is, yeah, this is, it was heartbreaking. And this was like a few days before the EP is supposed to come out. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, great timing, guys.
Yeah.
so,
But that's why you
so,
give yourself cushion, right? That could have been worse, I guess.
yeah, that's why
Yeah.
you give yourself like at least a month of a cushion to prepare
Yeah.
for shit like that. Cause you just don't know what they're going to say, or if there's going to be a problem. So I
Mhm.
ended up, I went with Vinny and our friend, Michael Martinez, which I
Mhm.
believe you know as well.
Mhm.
We went out to this dry lake bed in the middle of nowhere. To initially I went out there to take some like promo pics with them and just go out there because it's such a crazy place to go to. It's dead silent. There's literally no sound out there.
Ah, it's so cool.
You kind of feel like you're in an anechoic chamber when you're there. It's nuts.
Oh, nice. Not even
Yeah.
wind or like the slightest breeze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a little breeze, but I mean, it's so quiet that it's disturbing. So we went out there and we did a really cool drone video, and we did some like just like some promo stuff. And so there was a picture that Vinny took of me, where I'm holding up my notebook, when it says I wrote imposter syndrome on the entire page, and I
Mhm.
like scribbled over it. And so I took that and I put it in front of my face, and like it was during when the sun was setting, so the sky behind me is like a blend of like purple and pink. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Let's just use this because
Mhm.
there's nothing on here that's confusing. And then the paper or the notebook said imposter syndrome. So I'm like, this has to get accepted. So we ended up going with that instead.
Mhm.
And yeah, I got the email from them like the day before the release date, which was January 12th. And they're like, oh, hey, your EP's been accepted. So I'm like, cool. So now I got to pick a new release date. And then it just came out like that day, like at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, that was their way of saying you're good to go. We're just gonna send it now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's bittersweet because it actually came out on my grandmother's 91st birthday. My grandmother passed away June of last year.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, you know what? This actually has a new, deeper meaning I wasn't expecting.
Mhm.
So yeah, it did work out in the end. I'm still bummed I couldn't use Justin's artwork, but I told him, we talked about it, and I'm like, you know what, this poem is part of the EP. This is what the EP is on paper.
Mhm.
If I were to translate this into words, it's this. So the
Yeah.
poem is very much like a sibling to the EP. So I'm still glad I have it. It's
Mhm.
gonna live with the EP forever. So yeah, that's what happened. And that's why you submit your shit early to deal with stuff like that.
What a pain. But it
Mm.
sounds great, dude. I've been listening. It's been on loop.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so
I
fucking
appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like you're like soundtracking the metaverse. You're soundtracking the future essentially, but you're doing it retroactively, right? It's like you have a lot of this like retro feel to it, and it's
Yeah.
very cool. It's like coming from like an expert's perspective, or like a yeah, like an expert's perspective, a professional student of music, of sounds, of history. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You're on it. That's my point.
Thank you. No,
Yeah, it's
thank you so
fucking
much.
solid.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you like it. Yeah, it's funny because I really wasn't planning on putting this out. I was actually struggling with a lot of writer's block the last I don't know, from like late August to November. I was trying to create a new track with Kay.
Yeah.
And I came up with a few ideas, and Kay sent me some vocals of theirs, and
Mhm.
it was I was just having the hardest time coming up with stuff. And so when you're usually the way I deal with writer's block or creative blocks is I just kind of step away
Mhm.
and say, you know what, maybe like you just shouldn't be doing this right now. Maybe you should go play video games or like go hiking more, or just step away from music, because there's nothing coming out of you, or whatever you're trying to do. Like it's not resonating, it's not working. And honestly, I just felt like I just got kind of like annoyed with like sitting down and trying to create something. So I just kind of separated myself from that. And I actually went back into a folder of a lot of like just demos I made a year ago, and I came across the second track on there called "A Central Point of Failure," where I just sat down with my keyboard and I just did like this improvised chord progression. And yeah, I just was like, you know what, this is kind of cool. Maybe I can do something with this. It's already done. I just gotta like mix it and master it.
Mhm.
And that was like the first track, and then everything else came after that. The third track is called David, and that was a song I wrote for my friend who passed away in 2019. And he was always into like really weird music like Arca, and he loved Bjork, and really like washed out synthy stuff.
Mhm.
So that really inspired me to write that for him. And yeah, that became like the heart of the EP, because it's the middle track. And then the fourth track was I Dream So You Don't Have To, and that was
Yeah.
all out of the Moog right here. I created this really dreamy like melody that just kind of descends, and then everything else kind of like was made around it. And then Vinny was like, you should add drums to like the end of this, and I added drums to it, and I'm like, holy shit, like that the song's done.
Mhm.
So that was like the last thing I did, was just add drums to that. And the fifth track on it, it's called "It's Clear as Day." That one again was I was sitting in a park in Burbank, and it was like a crystal clear day. I think it was windy the day before, so there was no smog. And same thing, I was just kind of messing around with the chords, and then I added like a drum beat to it.
Mhm.
Um, And then I think the last thing I did was add the last 40 seconds of the song. It just kind of makes a hard left turn and becomes like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. I was like, I don't know. I really was just sitting here just fucking around. And
It's
I
like
had this like
chugging through a
really,
factory.
yeah, exactly. And I just had this filthy synth I was playing with. And yeah, I just kind of added that last minute. And the first track is kind of circling back here. But the first track was something I actually didn't have done. I just I listened to there's this song by 9 Inch Nails called "Now I'm Nothing,"
Mm.
and it's not even an official song that they had ever released. It's an opener they used to do. They used to tour with. It would just open their tour,
Mm.
and I don't know. There's something about the lyrics of like you're kind of looking at yourself as you kind of wasted things away and now you're nothing, like you're a shell of what you used to be.
Mm.
And I thought, you know what, this would tie really nicely into the way I've been feeling the last 3 months, and that's that like I'm a fraud and I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm.
And imposter syndrome really was, that's why it's called imposter syndrome, is because I was struggling to accept the fact that like I'm in a studio and I built everything around me, I built from the ground up, and like why can't I create? What's going on? I have all this magic sitting around me, and for some reason, nothing sounds or looks appealing, and I just want to get away from this. Maybe I'm a fraud. Maybe I don't really know what I'm doing.
Mm.
Maybe I'm just fucking around, and I think what I'm doing is right, but it doesn't like matter to me anymore. So I just need to get away from this and run as far as I can.
Mm.
And that's kind of where the idea to grab those 5 tracks and make an EP out of it to kind of confront that feeling. And now that I did it and now that I put it out, I feel much better. And I feel like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking go. Like I'm ready to get back into my funk and my groove and make music and collaborate.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty much how the EP came to be, and that's where the idea stems from.
I definitely see it, inspiring people to get out of that funk too, out of that imposter syndrome. It's the last few months have been really weird on my end too. Like it's a lot of imposter syndrome. It's a lot of like, I have no motivation to do anything.
Yeah,
You look at stuff and you're just like, whatever. Like I'm just gonna sit around and,
yeah,
you know, walk, maybe walk. Maybe I have it energy for that.
yeah. It's crazy how much going for a walk has a lot of power, um, and inspiration, especially if you're struggling with mental health issues, or
Mm.
just sometimes you might be okay in the head, but your body just doesn't feel good,
Hmm.
and you're like, you know what, maybe I just need to go outside, and that really helps. It really does.
Hmm.
Um,
The
just
sunlight.
like a 20-minute walk. Yeah, sunlight. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, so when you have imposter syndrome, or if you're feeling like you're not motivated, what else besides a walk would you consider to be like a helpful remedy that would make you feel better, or get you out of your
Mm.
funk?
Music usually that's the go-to. So again, imposter syndrome EP, solid. It's been a solid like
Thanks,
respite
man.
from that.
Hmm.
And yeah, going back, like trying to like retrace steps mentally of like what was I into before? How did I get here from, how did I get here? What was the previous step? And then just going back, what were all the little tasks that I had done, or little creative little outlets that I had done? Kind of like taking inventory of like what I've been doing in the past. I do that, and that seems to kind of like shake things loose. And it's like, okay, I had a rhythm then. I can do that again now. I just have to. I'm over here. I need to connect these points, and hopefully that works. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go for a walk. Sometimes you go. I went for a hike with my niece last week, and like I never hang out with her. She's 9 years old. Like we never hang out unless it's a family thing. So I was just like, I want to go out and hang out with you. So I took her to In and Out afterwards, and like and we just hung out, uncle and
Yeah.
niece. And I don't know, it was rejuvenating getting out on the trail. She had never done that before. She had never been on a hike like that in her recent memory. And that felt good. That kind of
That's good.
got me out of a funk, socialization, family
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Uh Not trying to
Yeah.
force it, but at the same time, like something you got to push yourself. I don't want
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
this right now. But I got to. I have to do
Yeah.
this for my mental health, you
Yeah.
know?
No, no, absolutely, man. It's good to, I mean, just seeing another face of someone you love, can really do the trick, can really get you out of your funk, or just make you realize, this is what matters, this is what's important, especially in a pandemic where we're constantly retreating back to our safe spaces when a new
Mhm.
variant is spreading and cases are blowing up like wildfire. Sometimes you have to go backwards to go forward. And if that's like, stopping what you're doing right now, like your podcasting or your writing or your
Mhm.
photography, just kind of shelving it, maybe sometimes you got to shelf it for a few weeks and then go hang out with family or friends and just get outside and get some air. Sometimes
Mhm.
that is all we need. It's the simplest thing, because sometimes people turn to vices like drugs and smoking and drinking and
Mhm.
or sex orgies, like guilty as charged. No, I'm kidding. No, sometimes
Oh,
we
this
have
guy.
to, yeah. Sometimes we really have to like disconnect and be around other bodies of people and nature just to recharge. And
Mhm.
that really is the simplest thing sometimes. I read a book when I was going through my imposter syndrome. I was like, you know what? Fuck, I haven't read any books in a while, so I'm gonna buy some and see if that helps.
Mhm.
And I bought this book called The War of Art. And
Stephen
it's,
Pressfield.
yeah, yeah. Oh yes. So have you read it?
Not
Or
that
do you
one, but
know the
I read
author?
one called Do the Work, and apparently it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't read that one yet. Maybe I'll buy it next. But I was like, you know what, this sounds kind of cool. And when I got it, I thought it was like a book, like a biography. And then as I'm flipping through the pages, it's just literally like this each page is like a new chapter that just says it's all about like resistance, and
Mm.
how like resistance can equate to being fearful. It's like I'm not working on my art right now because I'm afraid to confront it. I'm afraid that if I sit down, I'm just going to stare at my laptop or my keyboard and not do anything, and 2 hours will pass and I'll be sitting here realizing nothing got done, and then therefore I'm a failure. I'm a fuck
Mhm.
up. But that's just all in our head, because maybe during that time you just need to step away and recharge.
Mhm.
And then when you're feeling better and you have to, kind of get over that mental roadblock, then you can kind of go back to what you were doing, what you love, and it just kind of naturally happens. You just naturally get back into your flow. But yeah, that's one thing I had to do, is kind of just get away from the music. And I even got annoyed with like listening to music. Like I was like, fuck, I don't want to like
Mm.
listen to Nine Inch Nails right now. Like it sucks. Like it just, music itself was like annoying me. So
Yeah.
I was sitting in silence. Yeah, just like driving with the windows down, just listening to like, traffic and the wind, and that can be stimulating too in its own right.
Mhm.
But
In its own
yeah,
way,
man.
and it's like in its sort of like white noise way to help you reset.
Mhm.
Mm. So how do you find yourself, like, you step away, right, for a couple weeks? How do you not let that turn into a couple of months? Like, do you force yourself
Mhm.
back, or does something have to like click?
That's a good question. I think, I don't know. It's just when you feel it, you naturally just kind of say, you know what, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll go back into it.
Mhm.
Like I think what I did was, after I, don't know, I was reading books, I was reading The War of Art, and I went back into I think what I did was I went into that folder of like stuff that I wrote or I made last year that I had completely abandoned. I know I didn't delete it, but I just left it sitting in a folder, and
Mhm.
then just kind of flipping through everything and extracting what I thought was, hey, this is kind of cool. Or I stepped away from this a year ago because I just wasn't interested, but all of a sudden this seems really sexy to me now. This seems
Mm.
really interesting, and let me see what I can do. And that's kind of what happened. Was the whole going backwards to go forward thing was I went back in time to something I made
Mhm.
and brought it into the present time, and was like, you know what, this is it. This is what's calling my name right now, and I should focus on this. Um, and I really don't know what the impetus was behind that. Like I don't know if it was the book or, recharging by abandoning the music, or, I was watching a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows. Sometimes that stuff can inspire you too, and it could
Hmm.
be something as simple as one sentence an actor says that, kind of you resonate with or that you connect with. It really, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy how we think and how we like resonate with things in life that just can spark inspiration like that.
Hmm. It's weird how our minds work. Whatever gets to it first. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, cheers to being out of it.
Cheers. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to not have to not it's nice not to like have to stress about imposter syndrome anymore. At least what I was going through. And I
Mhm.
know it's gonna come back. Like there's no way it's like, oh, it's a one-time thing. you know,
Yeah,
I'm
this
cured,
isn't the first time, right? This isn't definitely not the
you
last
know.
time. Well, you want to hope that it is the last
Yeah.
time, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to be realistic and be like, this is going to come back again. Maybe next year, maybe around the same time. Maybe it's a annual thing or something. But
Yeah.
either way, you can be a little more prepared for it each time.
Yeah, no, man. My wife, she thought it was she was saying maybe you have like seasonal depression and this is like the first time you're experiencing it. So I went and saw my doctor actually
Hmm.
in November, and I told him I was going through, and I told him I was like having a hard time focusing, and I lost like motivation to do a lot of stuff, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna prescribe you a low dose of Adderall. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I've never
Hmm.
done that before. And so yeah, I was given like a 30-day supply, and I was given a very low dose, and as soon as I took it, I'm like, I just got up, like I didn't even like realized it kicked in. I just got up and started doing stuff. And at first I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like I can't believe everything I've been like procrastinating, I just finished. And that's
Right.
like yeah, like stuff at work. Like a lot of
uh,
things I'm supposed to be doing at work, I was like putting off, and then I went back and I knocked it all out in like one day. Or
mm,
like at home, like my motivation just came back. And then I was like, okay, well, taking one of these is like a little too much for me. And so I'm going to start cracking them in half and splitting up the dosage. And so I was taking a lower dosage when I was prescribed. And that was like, whew, I was coasting, like, but not like coasting like laziness, but like I was on a wave and I was going to ride
yeah.
it forever because like this is helping me.
Hmm.
And it really did help. And I'm not on it anymore. I was only on it for about 2 months because I really was able to stretch out that dosage by
Hmm.
splitting up the prescription. But yeah, it really did help. And I hope that it doesn't come back, that feeling. But again, it's like you can't fear that, because if it comes back, I'm ready to embrace it again. And now I kind of know how to deal with it. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Do you ever think that maybe if it is an annual thing, if it's seasonal depression, maybe it's your body just saying, body and mind saying, just give me some time.
Could
I
be.
need to clear myself out.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something deeper, something more subconscious, our subconscious saying like, chill out right now. You're doing too much. And this isn't chill out for the weekend. It's chill out for, December to February or something,
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case because I mean that's disruptive, but like, maybe it's healthy. I don't know.
It could be burnout too.
Mhm.
Like especially all of us right now who are still working during a pandemic, and you go on Google News or whatever, CNN, whatever you go on, and the first five headlines are just depressing shit, and people are getting murdered left and right every day. We're still a war of like the left versus the right, and
Mhm.
conspiracies and QAnon and all these bullshit things going on in the world. And it's like, the whole doom scrolling thing, like even if you don't click it, just reading the headlines, like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
already distressed just reading the headlines.
Mhm.
I'm not even reading the article. Just the headline itself is making me stressed. And
Mhm.
I deleted like all my social media off my phone. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna go on this, I'll just like have everything like how it used to be. Go on my fucking browser and log in on my desktop. And
Not on your
and
not on your phone.
No, just look on my desktop and like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I don't have anything, or no one, because like I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people I still keep in touch with was through social media, and I wish it
Mhm.
wasn't that way, but like a lot of them live out of state, or this is where we share a lot of like funny stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Like if I cut this link away, if I delete all my social media, then yeah, I will lose touch with some people. But you know what? That's okay, because I need time for myself right now. I need to step away
Mhm.
from this because it's overstimulating me. It's kind of driving me nuts. So I gotta separate myself from that,
Mhm.
and yeah, remove myself from things that are like, overstimulating.
Mhm. You picked a hell of a time just before your EP release, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and this
I
all
mean,
happened
Human
in like
Offline
3
is still
months.
going, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm in a much better place, but yeah, the goal right now is to I have some clients that I'm working with some projects of theirs, so I'm gonna be focusing on like mixing and mastering
Mhm.
some songs for other people, and not really work on my stuff right now. There is some I am gonna be taking a little bit of a deviation in what I'm producing. I've been doing a lot of like synth wave, and the EP is, I don't even know what that was. It wasn't even stuff I've ever done. It just came out of me, and I just kind of embraced it and released it. But now I'm really into like techno right now.
Mhm.
I'm really having a lot of fun making some techno tracks. So
Mm.
I'm gonna go down that road for a little bit, and experiment, and if I'm having fun, I'm just gonna keep it going. So
Awesome. I've been
yeah.
on that kick. I mean, not creating, but just listening to I think I told you about it before. There was this YouTube page called Or
What's
Hor
what?
Berlin,
Okay.
HOR.
Okay.
But the O has the umlaut, so I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a
Or
sharp, it's a hard O, right? So Hor Berlin,
yeah.
or Berlin,
Or maybe like a soft
or
H, like or.
it's got to be a soft H, right? I don't
I
think,
think so.
yeah. And I find a lot of good stuff on there, and it's just like this. It's like a DJ, sometimes two, like a duo, and they're facing this camera. Behind them are like these tiled walls of what looks like a bathroom. I'll send it to you. It's really cool, and I find a lot of good techno, a lot of good house DJs, and just really good stuff. Um,
Nice. Yeah,
yeah,
send
so I've
that
been
send
on
that
that
to
kick
me.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
will do.
Yeah, yeah. I usually I'm into a few techno artists right now. Anna, I don't know if you've ever heard of Anna.
Mm-mm.
She's a Colombian producer slash DJ, and she makes like really dark sounding techno, and I'm listening to her and her collaborator slash, I think it's her boyfriend. His name's Weba.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he has this really cool track called Mind Awake. I'll send that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like really dark atmospheric techno is like what I'm really into right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been listening to like a lot of Tool, like
Mm-hmm.
just a
You've
lot.
been in a mood. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the mood, and it's yeah, it's interesting because new year, new me,
Yeah.
gonna get a face tattoo or something.
Fuck yeah. Make sure it
No, I'm
says
kidding.
that. Only God can judge me right here.
only or no regrets on my forehead. um but yeah, man, it's interesting as we start to evolve and get
Mm,
older, how your interests and things you used to love and be obsessed with are no longer important anymore, and now you're like, I'm like,
it's
this
weird.
is weird, but I'm really into it.
Mhm,
Whatever this is, whatever path I'm going down, it's interesting.
mhm. It's weird when it's like when that once previous passion isn't replaced by something else, right? You just lost that passion for something. And then, I mean, hence, the rut and imposter syndrome and all that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like you hope it's just objectively good for that to be replaced, or now you got to find something to replace it just to, I don't know, keep the days shorter, so you have something to do.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is worse than staring at the clock every 2 minutes to see what time it is, or if your day is almost over. So fill up that empty space with things you love to do, and especially right now in these odd times that we're living in, you just don't know. Tomorrow we're gonna get the HBO Max Delta variant plus deluxe, and that might be a breakthrough through the boosters and the vaccines, and we could all die. You just don't know. So might as well drink some beer and listen to some
Yeah.
fucking techno.
Drink beer, listen to techno.
Yeah, exactly.
Sanctioned by none other than Andrew Long.
I swear I'm not sponsoring this beer, whatever it is. It's actually an IPA I got from Trader Joe's. It's pretty good.
DBA has they're gonna have one tomorrow, and it's like keep the glass. And I guess the glasses are rare. They don't put them out too often, but
Oh
I'm gonna go
wow.
down and get one. Yeah, some IPA.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had an IPA in a while, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, they're I skipped I kind of like I would drink a lot of them and I stopped and I was like, okay, I'll drink like red ale or mango cart by Golden Road is
Yeah.
so good. It's like pound 10 of
That's why I
those.
kept getting them when you guys were coming over.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I was like really into like fruity beers because like I was drinking IPAs for so long, and I'm like, this sucks. Like I want something new, and I was like, oh, this is like really sweet but delicious, and I could drink this like water, you know.
That's the problem. You
and
end up
not
drinking
feel
a
like
whole
crap.
pack.
Yeah. But
I've been drinking margaritas. That's my move lately.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I just get the mix and I get some cheap ass tequila. And I'm not a liquor person, so I'm not going to buy some top shelf shit. I'm just going to buy salsa and the mix.
Dude, you don't even need you don't need you don't need like that top shelf stuff anymore to have a nice little drink. I was at Trader Joe's last weekend and I got this really not like expensive bottle of wine, but like I usually get like the $2 chuck there. And like
it's good.
like, it's really good. It is. Even like a $10 bottle is really good, but I got like a bottle that was, you know, a little pricey, and I'm like you know, I'm just gonna celebrate, you know, treat myself. And I'm like, this tastes like shit. You know, I'm like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is the $2 chuck is so much better than this? And it made me realize, like, yeah, you don't like if I was doing a blind taste right now, I would select that as the best one, the $2 chuck. Like that is so fucking good. And like there really is like there's no major difference in the quality at all, you know. It's just the way that or not actually it's not even $2 anymore, it's like $3.
Yeah, it's $3 chuck now.
$3 chuck. And that sucks. It doesn't rhyme with
a la
$2
Trader
chuck.
Joe's.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean my point is that like if it makes you feel good and it tastes good, and you know you're not like going in debt buying top shelf like bullshit, then why? You know, why invest in that, you know?
At the same time, it's like, you know, test your palate, like or put it to the test. You know, people say IPAs taste like pine trees and shit, or pine cones or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, but not all of them. And you know, try other ones and open your mind. You know, you gotta like, but maybe open your mind to, you know, Carlo Rossi, like a barrel of Carlo Rossi, big ass bottles that they come in.
The jugs,
yeah, the jugs, which are not bad. You know, like if you drink them fast, you know.
Yeah. We've been getting like boxed wine and like Trader Joe's tequila, like they don't have mezcal there, but they have like this silver tequila that is like $20. It's so good. And it's like making margaritas with that sounds so delicious. We have a magic bullet and I'm like, God, I want to make a margarita, and I just kept forgetting to make one, and we ended up chugging or like just shooting the tequila on like on New Year's Eve and ran out. Like, God damn it, I can't have my margarita now.
Damn.
Yeah.
How big is that magic bullet? I was gonna get one. They make them so small. I'm like, what is this for? I want like a blender, so I use my blender.
I have a blender too, and I haven't even touched the magic bullet yet. I don't even know. I don't know what's so special about them, because I haven't really used one. But
well, my only gripe is that they're small, so I'm like, I don't know. I drink things like not just alcohol, but like I like to sip on something. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But so if I'm gonna make a smoothie, I don't want it to be like an 8-ounce smoothie. It's gonna be like a 24-ounce smoothie, you know. And the magic bullet, I gotta use that thing like 3 times. So but maybe that's what it's for, to like limit, you know, my gluttony.
Like like portion. I guess it's like portion control, but I mean, but yeah, what's to stop you from making 3 of those? You know, then that equates to 1 full blender full of tequila and margarita mix.
Exactly. Time would stop
that too.
you.
Yeah. I guess it is. Yeah, it all boils down to time, because Yeah, there's like certain things I'm doing now where I'm like, well, how can I save more time? How can I buy more time? Like you really
Mhm.
can't buy time in life, but how can I hack time? You
Mhm.
know, what can I
Hack
do?
time. I
Yeah,
like
how
that.
can I hack time? You know, and go into the go into the time mainframe and hack it and take more. And yeah, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of, I don't know if this is like an OCD thing. I don't have OCD, but I've been like, I time a lot of shit I do now, like on my phone. Like
Mhm.
if I'm reading a book, I'll set a timer for like 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, you're gonna devote 30 minutes to reading this book, and then you're gonna devote 2 hours to cleaning, and then you're gonna devote 3 hours to producing some music. I've been using my timer on my phone so much lately, and I don't know if that's like an obsessive thing or if
Mhm.
I'm just trying to be a little more proactive with like where I'm investing my time in my in my life. I don't know.
Well, it
Do
sounds
you
like
do you
time
do that or?
management.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I try to do that, but then I'm constantly aware of the clock. So if I'm trying to read a book, like I've been trying to read physical books again. I have audiobooks all the time, and or I'll read like the news or something online. And
Mhm.
so I have some physical books I want to read that I've been wanting to read forever, but I set a timer for like you said, like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. But I'm constantly aware of the time, and I keep looking over like, is it about to go off? Is it about to go off? And I'm not
Yeah.
focusing on the book. So like that doesn't, I would like that. I would like for that to work for me. But it doesn't usually.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if it works for you, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. No, but I'm the
But
same
for me,
way.
it's like
I'm
distracting. I've got OCD. I've
yeah.
got ADD for sure. So
Oh man. I've been doing that
just
too.
constantly changing my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially, yeah, living in an overstimulated society, it's kind of hard to stay focused.
Hmm.
And yeah, the going back to what you said of like you're staring at your timer, like is it almost going off? Is it almost going off? It's kind of like you're almost anticipating that deadline, or you're anticipating the your alarm going off, or your stopwatch or your timer. I'm doing that too. I'm like, even like when I'm meditating lately,
Hmm.
I set a timer for like, I try to meditate for 20 minutes, and I'll like open my eye, I'll close my eyes, I'm like open one eye, I'm like, oh shit, I got like 2 minutes left. And then like
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'll like close my eyes again for 20 seconds and look like, oh, I got, a minute and 30 seconds. Like I'm just constantly, instead of
Hmm.
focusing on what I'm doing, I'm more focused at when is that thing gonna go off?
Hmm.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
Do you wake up before your alarm?
I get up at 5 a.m. every day.
Hmm.
And I was waking up at like 4:45 every damn day. I'm like, this sucks. And then you're like, do I nap or for like 15 more minutes, or do I just get up? Because like when you wake up before your alarm and you try to go back to sleep and you kind of fade away and then your alarm goes off and then you're even more tired.
Yeah. Then you're more fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're more drowsy and like, oh fuck, and then you contemplate, should I snooze for 20 minutes? Like, is it really gonna matter or when it's gonna
Hmm.
get worse? Yeah, I've been doing that a lot lately, and I don't know what it is, but something is waking me up. Sometimes it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, shit, and I lay there.
Oh,
I just lay there for an hour and a half, and I'm like, I can't fall back asleep. And then you kind of trick yourself, like, no, you did fall back asleep, you asshole. you know, and you're gonna have a great day.
I've had those like in December. I was waking up in the middle of the night for no reason around 3:30, 4 o'clock. And it wasn't even, not that I could tell, some outside sound or anything like that. And I would just lay there and try to go to sleep and trick myself, just like you said, trick myself into thinking I did go to sleep. And then I
Yeah.
woke up like, I don't know, 3 hours later, feeling just as tired. I feel like my eyes were closed the whole time, like I'm trying to go to sleep.
Hmm.
And I'm still having the same thoughts that I had when I actually went to sleep 3 hours before.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like, man, sleep is such a trippy thing. And then, but like going back to the alarm clock thing, it's like 15 minutes before you wake up, 15 minutes before it's supposed to go off, right? Are you sitting there just and thinking about the clock the whole time? Or are you arguing whether or not with yourself, whether or not I should even bother going to bed?
Yeah. It's fucking weird.
Hmm.
It's sleep is an interesting part of life, especially since we spend like a third of our life sleeping.
It's bizarre.
It's fucking weird. How many hours of sleep do you average a night?
Like 7. I try to
Yeah,
get
me too.
7.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
Like
what's the
8 seems
lowest?
excessive. Lowest?
Yeah, yeah, me too. What's the lowest amount of sleep you can get that you can still function in a day?
Like 5.5. 5.
5.5.
Yeah. 5 is pushing it, but five
Yeah,
and a half.
me too. I think like 5 is bare minimum 5. I need at least 5 to function. If I get anything less, yeah, it's like the first, I don't know, the first like 6 hours of your day, you're lagging, and then
Yeah.
you get
You're not
like that.
happy. Yeah.
No, you feel like death,
Yeah.
and
but
then like
you're pushing through.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you feel that too, like you're like 6 hours into your day and you're like sweating because you're so tired, and now all of a sudden out of nowhere you get this burst of energy and you're like, I'm good. Yeah, that's how I am.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's annoying. I wish you could just turn off and turn back on.
I
That'd be
know. I
great.
wish we all had switches in the back of our back of our heads.
I
I mean, we're
would
kind of
totally utilize that.
yeah, we're kind of yeah, me too. I'd be like, you know what, it's nap time,
Mhm.
and then you like that's kind of like human offline is like disconnecting from like the world from like
Mhm.
consciousness. You're disconnecting from consciousness, and that's kind of what human offline is. That's where I got the idea.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wish that'd be cool if like just you had a switch and you could like reboot for like 2 hours and you come back online and you're all systems are go and all cylinders are firing off. That's I kind of wish how that was.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Are you okay?
Mm. Oh yeah, I just get like this tickle in my throat.
I hate that
And now
shit.
it's being recorded.
You could just
Uh,
cut that part out. You could edit,
mm.
splice it, so you do like a little cough, and then just like go forward like 2 minutes at a time, like, and then oh yeah, where were we?
Gotta be honest, it sounds like a lot of work.
So what else?
Uh,
What else do you have planned for these times right now? You going anywhere or?
gonna try to go to Vegas. I'll tell you after because Jeanette, my girlfriend, is gonna listen to this and to surprise.
Okay.
So I'll tell you afterwards. Big, not a big thing. It's like I don't know. It's an event that we're gonna go to.
Nice.
That's in February,
Okay. Cool.
and I'm gonna try to cover that when we were young fest.
Oh
That's
yeah.
not till what, October, but I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
make that happen. Got a show on tomorrow and Friday night at DBA. And yeah, I did a podcast yesterday too. It's been a while.
Nice.
Yeah, we all just had margaritas and and drank. It was and talked. Yeah, that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I need to get more podcasts going. I've got these lav mics I want to use. So I was wondering if you wanted to do that too. You want to walk around Pomona and just like talk with lav mics while somebody
Yeah.
holds a
Oh yeah.
camera to us.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We can like we can strap like a GoPro to our bodies. It's like one of those harnesses that you put around your waist and the camera's it's like an arm that comes out and it's like facing you. It's like
Oh
like
yeah.
like in movies. They're doing that a lot in movies now where they're putting a camera on someone's body and it's facing them and it's kind
Mhm.
of tracking their movements. It's kind of cool. I'm down
Yeah.
though. I'm down to go out that way because when things are safe, of course, because we're being very cautious. I don't want to go through the stress of like worrying about getting exposed to someone who had COVID or yeah, like we're sick and then we have to go through the whole process of like getting tested and staying
Mhm.
home. We went through that last month and it was so fucking stressful. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I mean, admittedly, we did screw up. We got a little too relaxed and had people over and we're going
Mhm.
places and pretending like everything's fine. And then that variant started infecting everyone.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we're trying to be a little safe right now. But when this wave kind of dies down, yeah, and we'll be out there and let's get Vinny out there too,
Hell
because
yeah.
yeah,
Shout out to the great Vinny.
shout out to yeah, one of my closest and best friends, and he truly is a gem on this planet. And yeah,
He
I hope
really
we
is.
can
I haven't seen
see
him in
him.
so long, and he lives closer to me than than a lot of
Yeah,
people. I feel bad, but I don't know. It's like you got to make time, and sometimes you can't make time. You know how it goes. But
yeah, yeah. It's tough. We all have lives and a lot of shit going on.
mhm.
And yeah, man. I would love to go out there to P Town and finally go back to Noise Bug. Yeah, it's been years since I stepped
Oh
foot in
yeah,
that
we didn't go
store.
the last time either. Yeah,
No,
we gotta
well,
go.
we did go for a walk, I think, and it was closed because it
Oh,
was
it
a
was closed.
Sunday.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
I
closed,
was like,
but
why didn't we go? I don't remember. I thought we had made a point to go check it out. Because you were talking to the dude from LCD Sound System, right?
yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of my regrets in life was not trying to walk up, not ask for like an autograph, but like just like say, hey man, like we're going to your show tonight, big fan, can't wait, like
Mhm.
little stuff like that is like I'd rather just say that to like my favorite artist or someone I admire versus like, oh, can you sign
Yeah.
my ticket? Like, 'cause sometimes they're like they're just like, you know what, I just came here to buy something and leave, and now this fucking dude's asking me for like photos and autographs and to sign his chest and stuff like that. No, but I'm at least glad I got to talk to his manager, who I maybe I don't know if it was, I think it was his manager, but yeah, I don't know, that was cool. But
Oh, you were talking shop with the manager, not him.
I was talking to not the manager of Noisebug, but to the manager of LCD because
Yeah, yeah,
I had recognized
yeah.
him from like photos of like back band photos or whatever.
Hmm.
I recognized his face. I knew he was like part of LCD somehow.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think later on when I looked him up, he was the manager or something. I don't know if he's like the band manager or tour manager, but he worked for them in some capacity. And I got to show him the theremin, when I was fucking around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. But the drummer was so intimidating. He was like sitting on a stool, just staring at me and my friend the whole time. Like he
Hmm.
didn't say a word to us. His legs are crossed, wearing sunglasses, and he has like a really thick orange beard,
Hmm.
and he was just staring at us and he didn't say a word, and it was so intimidating. And James is at the counter talking to the guy who was working there because I guess like
Hmm.
something broke and they were buying a new part or something,
Hmm.
and the drummer's just like casing us. I'm like, I'm just
Damn.
playing a fucking theremin, dude.
Yeah.
Like, please don't kill me.
But you're constantly making these motions. So he's like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's witchcraft again.
This
So
happens every time we come to
yeah,
Pomona.
every damn time Pomona witchcraft. But yeah,
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 we definitely got
man.
to go there. What do you have
Yeah.
planned if not for like what if the CDC comes out and it's like, oh, not 5 days anymore, but like 2.5 days to
Oh,
quarantine or whatever. They keep changing it. I'm like, hmm,
yeah. Yeah.
confused.
No, we have no plans. I do have a concert in May that I bought a ticket for months ago. And as long as things are safe and there's no surge and variants of any kind, I'm probably gonna go to it. It's a show at the Greek, so it's outdoors.
Hmm.
That's the only like event I have planned for this year. Um, yeah, I saw that when we were young festival. It's not my taste. I do know all those bands. My wife loves most of those bands on that lineup, and like I sent it to her, and she's like, also additional headliner COVID. I'm like, oh, we're not going to that. and then, and
In Vegas.
in Vegas, and
In the
yeah, I know.
filthiest city on earth.
Yeah, exactly. If there's one festival I will go to this year, it's Primavera LA because Nine Inch Nails are headlining that.
Right. Yeah.
But they're also very COVID safe, and if things are fucking terrible around that time, they're not going to play.
Hmm.
And then LCD's headlining a festival, I think. What was it called? Have you seen that lineup? LCD's headlining. It's a
No.
Golden Voice lineup. What's it called?
In LA?
Yeah. It's in Pasadena. I
It's
can't.
not like Make Music Pasadena or something like that, is it?
No. Oh, this ain't no picnic. That's what it's called.
Oh, way off.
Yeah. A ton of indie band. I think the Strokes are playing, and Arctic Monkeys are playing Primavera, but the Strokes are playing. A lot of those bands are playing that festival. So there's like two really cool festivals, but I'll keep my eye on it. If things are cool and safe, maybe I'll go because they're both outdoor, which is great.
Mhm.
But Coachella, nope, not doing that this year. I don't think. So my only
Why not? When you can
plans.
catch herpes and chlamydia and
I
all the
mean,
others, all the other fun
I
ones.
got those years ago from Coachella 2013. No, the lineup's okay, but I don't know. The fear of people right now. I'm just trying to,
Mhm.
I'm trying not to get
Yeah,
COVID. I haven't
fair
gotten
enough.
it yet. Yeah, and I'm
Never?
trying to, no, have not gotten it. I'm trying. I mean, at
Jesus.
least I don't think I did, but
At this point, I think you probably should.
I haven't. Yeah, I mean the Omicron was supposed to be the variant that was. They said, if you haven't gotten it, this is the one, baby. Um,
Yeah, I thought they were saying that this is the one that like not that finalizes it, but like everyone's gonna get it. So once
yeah,
you have this immunity, like this will be herd immunity, if I understand that right,
it's
because
supposed
this
to
is the one
be.
that everyone will get no matter what you do,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
scary because my girlfriend got it and she got sick as fuck. And
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
yeah, she's good now, but like, yeah, she got sick and I didn't see her for 2 weeks. That's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's frustrating as fuck. It's disruptive. And that's why I'm like, I'm really gonna do better and try not to go out in public spaces and in
Mhm,
large crowds and it's safe in here. I have everything I need in my home, and
mhm.
there's really nothing else I'd rather do than just veg out on the couch and watch, the season 3 of You or Euphoria or just something that's like entertaining and
You haven't
exciting
finished it
and
yet?
crazy. No, I did finish You season
Oh,
3.
what do you think?
Yeah, did you finish it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without spoiling any, plot points, I loved it. The show is crazy as shit,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was entertaining and funny and yeah, like, violent and yeah, it's I don't know, it's a fucked up show to be into because you're really just watching this serial killer balance between his obsessions and trying to be a chameleon in life and escape everything he's doing.
Mhm.
um, but yeah, no, I liked it. Did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah, it's
Good. Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, I didn't relate
Yeah.
at all to him, so that felt good
That's
to not
good.
relate to him. Yeah.
You're like, I feel normal.
Yeah. I shouldn't want to agree. Well, like there were so many parts where we're talking about so my girlfriend and I were watching it together um and I'll just say Love, her name Love, and everybody knows who that is at this point. So it's like how he and Love like have these like conflicting issues where like they're somewhat on the same page, and then they get like she'll do something crazy or he'll do something crazy,
Yeah,
and it's like you find yourself agreeing. Like they're anti-heroes though, right? So it's like you can't feel too bad
totally.
about it, but it's like at the same time it's like why didn't you do that, you know?
They're totally anti-heroes, and
Yeah.
it's like you're like taking sides with them. The show, I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Like the show is really good at manipulating you. Like
Yeah.
at the audience, it's so good at tricking you into liking these despicable characters, and that's why the
Mhm.
show is so effective because it's like, fuck, man, I'm really glad I'm not like that or I know people like that, but at the same time, I would totally have a foursome with those people, or something. So it's a bizarre show to watch because like
Yeah.
you're like rooting for them, but you're also like, God, these people are terrible. And they're like killing innocent people for
Mhm.
their own crazy obsessions. But um yeah, that it was a good season, and we're currently watching a lot of different shows right now. So
Mm.
it's a good time to stay inside and just just chill and watch some good content.
I've been watching. No, I've been going back to Star Trek always. But did you ever watch Goliath?
Goliath?
Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton. It's on
Oh,
Amazon.
is that a show?
Uh huh.
Oh, I know what
It's
you're
on
talking
Amazon.
about.
It's three
No,
seasons. Yeah, it's good. It's
really? It's
good.
good?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll add that to the list.
it's I just keep calling it Bad Santa Esquire. Like it's just him if he was a lawyer. Yeah,
I
but
love
he's like
Bad
an
Santa.
Aaron Brockovich kind of character where like he's helping out the underdog,
Okay.
but like he's like I don't know, just a messy drunk, and he's got his problems, and he's got this team that he builds around him of just like other degenerates, and like it's
Amazing.
great. Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a good show.
Well, I mean,
Totally
Billy Bob's
recommend.
great. Yeah,
He's great. He
he's
can do anything.
fantastic. So
Hmm.
if he's going to be playing another Bad Santa type character in this show,
Hmm.
I'm totally going to watch it. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it's just oversaturated. Everything going on with the streaming wars and just movies and oh, by the way,
Mm.
did you watch Matrix Resurrections?
I did not, and you know what? I meant to
Okay.
before this podcast, and I just
We
haven't.
we should just have an entire podcast episode dedicated to that when you watch it.
100%. I'm down.
Because
Because I
I
wanted to watch them all again. Um, like,
Yeah.
leading up to this, and I watched the first one again, and that was it, and I just didn't get much further. Just
Okay.
other things kept coming up, but I'm gonna watch
Man,
them all again, and then let's talk, because
we should talk about it.
you were not happy with it.
I know, because I was so I as a kid, I saw the first Matrix in theaters with my dad and my
Mm,
brother, and was like blown away by that. And I was in fourth grade, I think, when that happened.
mm,
And then yeah, I loved, as much as people like talk shit about Reloaded and Revolutions, I still love them. As much as off the walls they became, I still think it's a fantastic story, and that could have been the end of the story. It could have stopped at Revolutions, but
mm.
nothing ever stops. And when the trailer for Resurrections came out, I'm like, oh my God, like this is the Matrix film we've all been waiting for. He's still trapped. He's being blue pilled. He's in a new Matrix, because at the end of Revolutions, they rebooted the Matrix,
Mm-hmm.
and they're obviously suppressing him in there. Something going on with Trinity. And then I tried to ignore like the critic reviews, and I was just so hyped. I was just trying to find everything I could on it. And then the first reactions came out, and it's like, oh shit, this does not sound good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, but you know what? Fuck them, because that's their opinion. So I'm gonna go and
Yeah.
see it myself opening night. And I saw it with like my friend and her boyfriend, and we saw it in IMAX. And all I will say is that at the end of the movie, I expected like applause and people cheering. It's probably like two people clapping, and two like in the corners. I walked out with my
Yeah.
head down. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ouch.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Not a terrible movie, but just very not what you thought it was gonna be.
Just lackluster.
Yeah,
Mm.
there were some cool action sequences. It was mostly the story I had a problem with. And actually, yeah, Scream 5 we saw a few nights ago. I liked it.
Scream 5.
Or Scream as
Yeah.
it's called. It's
That's
I
what it
liked it.
is, though. Scream 5, right? Yeah.
It's Scream 5, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
continuation after Scream 4. I liked
Mm.
it. Yeah, but I think the whole reboot slash sequel fad that's going on, it just needs to stop, because a lot of the fucking
Yes.
movies that they're doing this for right now are just not yeah, they're not hitting right. Like hey, cool
Yeah.
concept, but what the hell are you doing? Like you're deviating completely from what this is supposed to be. And now like you're trying to be too meta, you're trying to be too self-aware when you weren't before, so it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work. It's like really cringy. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got like some moments of like secondhand cringe watching Matrix Resurrections. If you have
I hate
HBO
that feeling.
Max, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's on there for another, I think, 3 days. So if you have HBO Max, you could even sign up for like I think a free trial. Just watch it and then cancel that shit. I don't pay money to see it in theaters. That's all I'll say. It's just
I haven't
waste.
been to a theater in a long time. Ever
Really?
since, like, because you have to like reserve your seats now. Like, I haven't been since then, since they started doing
Oh,
that. So
wow. Then
it's
yeah,
been a while. Yeah.
shit, yeah, it's a long time. Maybe like 7 or 6 years they started doing that. But
Oh,
um
never mind. Then I've been there since then. I guess they didn't make me do it, no matter
oh
wherever
wow.
I was. Terra Vista and Rancho.
Oh yeah, yeah. They've upgraded. I used to go there a lot as a kid, and that was my least
Mm.
favorite theater. But they've really updated it, and it's nice in there now.
Is it? Oh, are the
I
tickets still
mean,
$7? Because I'm down for that.
I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time. I think the
Yeah.
last film I saw there was Man of Steel in like 2013.
Oh, it's been a while. Damn.
It's been a good minute. Well, because yeah, I moved back to I moved when I was living in LA. I moved out of there in 2013. I came back to Rancho for like a year to get my
Mhm.
shit together, and then I was commuting to my job in Burbank, and like this is too much. So then Victoria and I decided to say fuck it, let's just move out there. So we moved out
Mhm.
here in 2016.
Mhm.
So yeah, we actually no, it's been a lot longer. I was in M Rancho for like 2 years, and I came back to LA.
Mhm.
So yeah, when I was out there, I saw Man of Steel, and yeah, the theater was like, yeah, they renovated it. It was nice, but I don't know if it's still like $7. It's probably like, I don't know, $12 now.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Still cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still cheaper than AMC.
Very true. But hey man, it was great talking to you.
Fuck
I
yeah. Let's
have to go run to my dispensary really quick before they close. But
do it. I got
yeah,
one
man.
nearby now. So
Oh, you do? Is it walking
yeah.
distance?
No, it's driving, but like a 5-minute drive. which is like a 30-minute walk. So yeah.
Shit. Mine is we're too spoiled. We have one right here. I
Mm.
walk out my door, it's a 2-minute walk, and it's boom, I'm right around the corner.
Oh, nice. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when you when things are safe, we're gonna have people over again, and you got to come over and
Fuck yeah.
hang out, and we'll paint the town red.
I'll bring some IPAs
Hell yeah, man.
and we'll
But
give
thanks for
everybody
having me,
COVID.
dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah. So cheers to the Sketch Sound podcast. It was great talking to you and seeing you again, man.
Likewise, dude. Cheers to Human Offline's Imposter Syndrome EP, out now on all streaming platforms.
Thank you, buddy.
Except, was there an exception? No. It's on all of them, right?
It's on everything. It's not on Bandcamp yet. It's not on SoundCloud yet. But it's on everything else. And
Those are the ones you have to like separately do them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because Bandcamp's great because you can upload you have so much more freedom on there. You can do high resolution files, name your price. It's much more flexible. And Bandcamp is for the artist. Spotify, go fuck yourself. But I still have to upload shit to your service because we need you, sadly.
Yeah, like Amazon.
Yeah, exactly, like Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers, bud. Anytime. You're always welcome.
All right, man.
All right, talk soon.
See ya.
Be safe.
I'll try.